Hello everybody, how is it going? So I know I said the rest of this week would be Whitebeard. There probably will be some more Whitebeard, but not today. I got some pretty good matches, or games, against this ace. I think there's 3 in total. I ended up playing a best of 3, which the One Piece card game format should be best out of 3. But this is, I guess, a notoriously not so great matchup for Law. And I can definitely tell you guys that these were some of, the hardest games I think I've played in this format. It's weird, though, because I still think this matchup is more doable than, Zoro sometimes. Zoro really feels so bad. It's just because, I don't know, call me just... I know I'm probably molding just because I'm a Law player, and the card hurts me, the most of every deck in the format, but why is Fire Fist not locked to just ace? That card is so annoying. And Zoro just plays it because he also can abuse Buggy, which is another card that my deck, all my characters are slash, including my leader. This little shitter just keeps punching me every turn. But Buggy is more impactful in the Zoro matchup because he can actually swing with it every turn pretty easily. Into ace, he needs to commit 2 Dawn to actually swing with it, so it's not that bad, I guess. But yeah, these games are tough. The only thing that's nice is that it's not when ace constantly is destroying your stuff, they're developing a board themselves. Here he has 3 searchers into a Marco, so yes, he did establish his board here. It was good. Also, we whiff. Whiffing in this type of matchup is also so bad. You cannot be down on resources because you're gonna have to deal with them destroying your stuff, and you're gonna have to play cards almost every turn to eventually get a board down. Random notifications, sorry about that. But right here, I imagine I'm getting Fire Fisted. It's he has a ton of cards in hand because he's only really played Searchers and the Marco. He's also taken every hit. I've found that in this matchup, I will kind of just take all of my life most of the time, because by taking all my life, I can hopefully actually get my board down and have some control of the board. And if he wants to keep removing my stuff, he's not going to be able to swing for really big numbers. And if he can't deal with all of my little chump blockers, we just got Marcoed into Fire Fisted. There goes a lot of my board again, but most of the stuff we didn't go 2 minus on. But now we're out of Searchers, so we just have the Bonnie, which is fine because we have the blocker Law in hand, so we know that we'll be able to actually loop her and not lose her. So that is good. But yeah, we'll grab a starter deck Zoro. We'll just play our Beji and a Makino to fill up the board. We'll use leader, bounce into Law, then Zoro. And I will actually give Zoro a Dawn just because it puts him out of Fire Fist range, so if he has another one, we have that. But he already developed 2 Marcos. So in this type of spot, I feel like it's definitely much harder when the ace actually develops a board and also clears a good amount of your stuff. But there are times when he mostly just clears board and then plays little Searchers. And when you're in that spot, it's not too bad. But he'll Gordon my Law. It's probably getting popped this turn. Somehow. He'll have a way. But I'll go 5 at lead and 6. I think I should have just taken this life, honestly. I do have 3 chump blockers, so it wouldn't be that bad. I'll use one of them probably, unless I want to drop another 2k. Do end up dropping another 2k. Alright. I think I'm just trying to keep all of my board, or as much of my board as I can, really. But it's inevitable that my blocker Law is going. So we're gonna have to hope that my Bonnie will find another. We'll play Gordon. So okay, so now my Law and my Zoro are going. Very cool, very cool. Play Buggy. Grabs a Whitebeard Pirates. We probably just needed a trash event to get rid of for the Fire Fist. So yeah, we've been fire fisted twice so far. Very cool. Goes 2 down on buggy, attacks for 5. We'll take. We'll play a Machino for seemingly no reason. It happens. It happens. He probably for some reason thought Dodon was like a 1-drop or something. But I mean, we're kind of in a scary spot. I do have 3 little blockers, but he probably, will be able to out them. Most likely. So I'm just going to try to deal with the board. I maybe should have just gone life, but I don't think there's... I mean, I'm not killing him with just my leader swing and a rush Zoro. He has 2 Dawn active. So I figured I'd try to take as many events from hand as I could by just beating into the Marco, because he can't use them as like 1k counters like he can with his leader. And he actually lets one go, so that's pretty good. We're going to have to hope for a restand law. Psych, we're going to whiff, and that whiff pretty much seals the game. I don't think there's anything else I could have done there. Yeah, I'm like looking at my hand. I think I end up like bouncing Chopper, playing restand law, and then replaying the Chopper. That was the best I could come up with. Try to out the other Marco maybe. No dice. And I mean, if we survive, we'll probably be able to go for game, and we do have three blockers. But he should have 4 attacks. Could have 5 if he's playing like Rush Ace, but I mean obviously he's playing Rush Ace, but I don't think he's gonna really use it to go for game. He's actually gonna go after my Zoro, so I might live this turn, but it's not gonna be pretty because I'm probably gonna have to use all my blockers, and yeah, we'll have to double 1k out of the 6k hit. He'll actually just 9-drop, and that pretty much makes it so I can't kill him. Maybe if I tried to defend the Zoro, I would have been able to go for game. So that could potentially be a misplay, but I was more worried about surviving. But this turn, I know I had to go for game, but there's just no reality where I get to game. So I can attempt to clear the Marco, but this game is pretty much over. You grab a beam, it's not going to be enough. I'll scoop it up. But I will go for the rematch, and we'll see how it goes. I like playing these matchups that are harder, just because obviously it's good experience. A lot of, not Ace isn't that popular, but Zoro is very popular. But if I do run into an Ace, I want to know how I'm supposed to play it. And I pretty much know how I'm supposed to play it. I kind of can just play slow like he does. Try to play a couple of my bodies a turn. Prioritize, playing searchers, because I won't lose cards in hand if he destroys my searchers. And we immediately whiff again. This is getting very annoying. I remember, like, during one of the games, there was something that's so ridiculous that happened, and I didn't even want to play it out, but I did end up playing it out. But, yeah, we'll play Nami, Dodon, and then Veggie. He will activate a Whitebeard Pirates. I think he whiffed because usually it searches before it taps it on, so it appears to be a whiff. He will Fire Fist my Dodon and my Nami and pass it back. That's one thing I really don't agree with him doing. Like, I understand he doesn't want to give me cards early, but him not attacking, kind of like how Kid would, almost makes it that I can play super slow with him and not go like, not make like super minus plays to establish my board. So I don't know if it's actually correct. I've also thought about myself just never attacking him, but I don't think that could possibly be correct, honestly. Because me just going for game is kind of like my fallback when I run out of resources, so I don't really think that's correct. I don't have much to do this turn. I can play the Bonnie, hope we hit something. I think I was mainly just looking for either a blocker law, just to take back the Nami, to just, play down a body. But we'll go 5 with Brook, 5 with lead. If he keeps taking the life very aggressively, again, we'll have our fallback plan of just killing him. Sometimes it just works. He'll counter out of the second 5k hit. We'll just hard play our restand law, restand the Bonnie. If he wants to get rid of the Bonnie, he's going to have to use cards out of his hand. So that is the plan. I do have a huge life buffer, so again, a con of him not attacking my lead to not give me cards. Like if he attacks my Brook here, I'm obviously just gonna let it go. Like I'm not dropping cards to defend the Brook. Goes 5 at the Brook. We let it go. No way am I defending that. I need the cards in my hand to eventually be able to play. And this turn, if we don't get removal spelled, we should be able to get 5 characters on board, which is pretty good. But he plays down a Gordon, and we'll probably pop my restand law. If it's a Fire Fist, even worse. It's a Marco, at least it's only popping my restand law, and I get to keep my Bonnie. I low-key think it was just better for him to pop my Bonnie. Like, Bonnie is kind of what's gonna keep me in this game. I'll immediately take that life hit. I'm like, please. Yeah, now we have 2 Bonnies. Very good. If we top deck like Anami or Dadan here, and our Bonnie doesn't whiff, we're in a pretty good spot. He plays down another Gordon, so if we top deck Anami. But if we okay, we grab a restand law for first Bonnie. But if we play a blocker law, we know it's pretty much getting popped next turn. He is very low on cards though, which is nice. I'll play down another Bonnie, find a Bonnie off that one, and I'll play the third one, and I'll whiff off this one. Yeah, to put it lightly, I was not happy, and you can see me slamming my mouse around. I was looking for one blocker law, so I was like, if I play all 3 of them, I will surely find one. And then when I play the Nami, I bottom deck 3 of my blocker law. So at this point, I was already annoyed, you know, having to deal with fire fists every turn and removal, and just trying to have any amount of board. And then that happened, and I was ready to just stop playing. But I played out. I know like the most I can ask for this turn is my Bonnie living. Like, law is probably getting popped. I mean, yeah, Fire Fisted once again. Man, I love this card. And yeah, we don't even get to keep our Bonnie. Very cool. But he is down to 1 card. But I have nothing established on board. All 3 of my Bonnies got outed because I couldn't find a blocker law. I pick up my 4th one, which is kind of insane. That is crazy. Honestly, I might go down to just 0 life. I will, yeah. Should have just countered out of a 5k hit so I didn't have to drop 2 cards here, but it's okay. And hey, we find our 4th blocker law, which was conveniently on top, so there's a slight chance we don't just lose this game. We'll go 6 at the Marco, he'll instantly let it go. So I'm gonna assume he doesn't have an event in hand. We'll play our Nami, pick up a Brook, play down our Bonnie, pick up a Zoro, and now we're kind of finding the pieces that we want. We're kind of getting there slowly. We'll play down Otama, -2 to the Marco. Play down Brook. Are we playing down Brook? This was definitely a weird decision for me. I could have played like Zoro, attacked, and then, you know, used leader effect, and then restood my Zoro, attacked again. But I ended up going with the Brook. I don't know exactly why. I think I just didn't count my Dawn correctly. So I definitely think just playing the Zoro and attacking was probably better. But we'll bounce Otama, and then pick up the Beji, play our Zoro. And then we'll replay the Beji over the Nami. If he wants to kill my Bonnie, he needs to at least put 1 Dawn on his Otama. And now all of a sudden, we're looking pretty okay, honestly. Definitely not looking too bad. Yeah, this is, I think someone's asked me about like the Zoro matchup. It's like, this is kind of what I feel like you have to do sometimes, is like, if you need to go down to 0 life to actually establish your board and like clear a lot of their board, just do it if you have to. Like, it's gonna be scary. But yeah, you're probably already in a rough spot when that happens, so... You know, if you need to see your life cards, just do it if you have to. But he goes a pretty jank play of playing Makino, boosting Otama, and then attempts to go for game. I think he pretty much knew he lost the game once I got my board up, and I cleared both his Marcos. So it was just a last-ditch effort. Also, let's go Bonnie, whiffing one more time. I was so upset, to put it lightly. But yeah, I'm going to play around all the triggers he could possibly have by just putting all my guys up to 7. Except Brook, but we already swung with him, so we don't have to worry about him getting popped. And we'll go 7-7. We'll attack for 5 with their lead just to get one card out of his hand. And then we'll go... this is what, 11 with Blocker Law? Yeah, and that should be game. And got one more game here. Best out of 3. Let's go. Looking for searchers. Both hands didn't have searchers. Alright, this is gonna be a slow one. We do have one Veggie. Plays down a Buggy, grabs a Fire Fist. Great start to the match. That's what we like to see. We'll play down our Veggie, and we'll pass it back. He'll play it to Dawn. Grab an Izo. Play down the Izo. Pick up a Marco. And passes without attacking. Again, he's just trying to starve me at resources. We're probably just playing Brook this turn. We can't play Brook into Robin because that will just get Fire Fisted, and it's like we skipped our turn. So we need to play it into Brook into Zoro, and we're probably just going to leave the Zoro standing instead of attacking with him. He will probably have a Gordon or an Otama and end up Fire Fisting both either way, but at least we get 3 cards out of his hand instead of 2. That's pretty chill with me. See, this is what I kind of mean. Like, you need to... Like, I'm playing 2 cards. If I force him to play 3 cards to out my board, that's fine. He's taking all the life hits, so we'll eventually just be able to kind of go for game if we have to, if we can never establish our board, and we just have to hard play everything. It's a tough matchup. He plays Izo, grabs up Marco, and then plays the Marco. So yeah, we didn't get Fire Fisted that turn. That's kind of really important. Because this turn we can't even get our leader effect up. Because we've kind of just drawn all of our like mid-rangey cards, mid-cost cards. And no searches. Yep, we're just going to swing with Zoro, and then play Restand Law and restand him. This is another thing I try to do in this matchup. If I'm still like establishing my board, I will try to keep him all standing at all times, because I want him to basically drop a lot of cards if he wants to out my board. And then in turn, he won't really be able to defend his board. Goes 2 down on Buggy, attacks me for 5. Sure, I'll go down to 0 life again. I do not care. Pick up a Nami, by the way. So yeah, if we had like if he hit us once in the early game, we would have had that Nami, and the previous turn we would have been able to get our leader effect online, which would have been pretty cool, but it didn't happen. So I guess, you know, like, well played to him. But he plays down a Gordon. There goes Mr. Restand Law and one of my 5k bodies. I think he misplays and pops my Brook instead of the Zoro. It's definitely correct to pop the Zoro, because Zoro's a supernova, and it actually interacts with Restand Law, and Brook does not, so something to note. Still not attacking my life besides the one Buggy hit. I don't even know why he decided to do that when he could have just swung 5 with leader and let Buggy just stay standing. So definitely a weird play. So we grab the Brook. After getting Fire Fisted, I might end up going Brook into Robin. I don't think it's like the worst play. He'll actually defend that life, very interesting. Go 5 with Zoro. He'll take that one. We'll play down our Brook into Robin. Use our leader effect, take back the Zoro, and pass. Again, we're not going to let him bully my board at all. We're just going to keep everything standing. Again, make him pay cards to get rid of my board. Plays a 9-drop. Attacks lead for 7. That's cool with me, I'll take. So still no Bonnie, no blocker laws. Game is going to be a little bit awkward. We don't really have anything to bounce into, so we're just going to have to make some kind of weird plays. We'll attack with Robin for 7, KO the buggy. He counters for 1. Go 2 Dawn on Brook. Attack for 7. Counter for 2. 2 Dawn on lead. Attack for 7. A block with Marco. Then bring it back by discarding a 9-drop. We'll play down our Chopper. To be fair, there isn't... Oh wait, there is a reason to play the Chopper because we already have the Veggie. If we like only had the Chopper and didn't have the Veggie on field, there'd be no reason to play the Chopper there. But we'll play the Chopper, then use our leader effect to bounce into our Brook into our Zoro, and we'll use the last 5k hit into his Marco because he decided to, you know, just let it die and bring it back, which gave us an extra attack that turn. So now we got him very low in cards. We're probably gonna survive this turn, and then we're gonna have to do our best to go for game. Maybe we don't even have to go for game. I forget exactly how I play this out. But yeah, he's finally, you know, low in cards, so you probably won't have to worry about more removal. At least probably not a Fire Fist. Might have a Flame Emperor or something. But we will defend the Zoro. Goes 2 Dawn on Dadan. Attacks Robin for 5. We'll give him a 2k. Also, different list. I know that someone's gonna ask about it. I'll throw it up on community tab. I can't take credit for this one. This is a list from one of the recent One Piece events in the TCG. Forget exactly what it was, but I really like this guy's ratios. I've been playing it a lot. I think he did an amazing job. He kind of figured out, like, he has all the cards that I'd want to play in it, and just I think his ratios are really good. So I'll throw that list up. Credit goes to him though. Yeah. We're still kind of in a weird spot because he has a blocker Marco. He does only have 1 card in hand, so we could try, like, you know, resting the blocker Marco and then going for game. I don't think we'll be able to go for game, so maybe I'll just prioritize on clearing what I can. So we'll rest the blocker Marco, go 5 into the Marco and then pop the Dawn. He's probably gonna have to let this go. If not, he goes to 0 cards, and I can actually just kill his 9-drop, which is pretty cool. We'll play our Dadan, pick up a Makino. We'll swing 5 most likely at his lead. He's kind of forced into taking this 5k hit because of if he does counter out of this, you know, we just can actually no, in this spot we couldn't kill the 9-drop, so I should have actually attacked with Zoro first and then left, you know, 2 more Dawn up to threaten the 9-drop Whitebeard. Potentially gets a trigger here. Is it the last Fire Fist? It is, so we lose our Zoro. It's fine though. We should be able to live this turn. We're still on 2 life, and honestly, if just our Izo and our Dadan survive, that's all we really need. He'll counter as the last hit. We'll play a Robin, leave 1 up for the Radical Beam, and yeah, as long as we live, should be game. Doesn't matter what bodies are left on my board as long as they're bodies, because he has, like, no cards. Goes 3 Dawn on his Marco, attacks us for 9. I think I'm fine with taking that. Grab a Veggie. Kinda but it's fine. We still have 7k worth of counter. Yeah. Goes 10 with his 9-drop. We will actually counter out of this one, I believe, because it is going to be smaller than if he all-ins on his leader. Goes 6 Dawn on his leader to kill the Robin. Yeah, we'll let it go. And then he'll pass it back. And we literally just going to swing 5 with all of our bodies, and it should be game. says he thinks I have it. I think I agree. Yeah, we'll go the rest of our Dawn on our leader and attack for 13, and I'll say GG's. Well, thank you guys for watching.